Stop. Before you scroll, answer one brutal question. Who told you that you're poor? Your bank account, your childhood, the job that underpays you and calls it opportunity, number. You started believing you were poor the moment you accepted this lie. I need money before I can think like power. That's how they trap you. Machiavelli would laugh at that idea. He watched beggars outthink nobles, failed princes outmaneuver kings, men with nothing carve empires out of chaos. He understood what most people never will. Poverty is not a number, it's a position on the chessboard of power. If you think like a pawn, it doesn't matter how much money you touch. You'll donate it back to the system in record time. If you think like a prince, you can be standing in ruins and still be more dangerous than the men in palaces. This video is not about feeling better. It's about rewiring how you see yourself in the hierarchy of the world. Because once you understand what Machiavelli really meant, you will never think you're poor again, even when you have absolutely nothing. Before we dive into the psychology, I'll give you something most people will ignore. If you want real power, start with a few books almost nobody actually reads. The 48 Laws of Power, The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli, The Blueprint of Strategy, The Discourses by Machiavelli, Advanced Power Thinking. And if you don't like reading, you can get these as audiobooks, free to start. All of that is linked in the description. If Machiavelli were alive, those are the books he'd quietly slide across the table to the one student he thought might actually do something with power. Most will hear that and do nothing. They will stay spectators, but you're still here. So let's begin. Drop this in the comments before we go deeper. I refuse to think poor. Lesson 1. Your bank balance is not your rank. Machiavelli didn't write for rich men. He wrote for ambitious ones. He saw this clearly. Status is not measured by possession, but by leverage. There are men with luxury homes and zero leverage. One scandal, one email, one angry superior, and it's gone. And there are men with empty pockets and extreme leverage. Why? Because they control information, attention, or the will of others. The poor mindset looks at life like a ledger. I have this much money, so I am worth this much. The Machiavellian mindset looks at life like a map. I have this position, this knowledge, this influence over these kinds of people. Ask yourself honestly, do you understand how the people around you make decisions? Do you know what they fear? Do you know what they crave so badly they'll break their own rules? If you don't, your real poverty isn't financial. It's strategic ignorance. A man with nothing in his wallet but a deep understanding of human nature is richer than a millionaire who doesn't know how he's being played. That's why I keep repeating, if you want real power, start with the books in the description. The 48 Laws of Power, The Prince, The Discourses, because they show you the patterns everyone else is blind to. Poor minds say books won't change anything. Rich minds know. One idea, applied ruthlessly, rearranges entire lives. Comment this: my value is leverage, not numbers. Lesson 2. Poverty is a script you agreed to. Think back. When did you first hear the word poor? Maybe it was your parents arguing at midnight. Maybe it was a teacher looking at you like a statistic. Maybe it was the feeling of being the only one without the right clothes, the right phone, the right life. At some point, the world handed you a script. People like you struggle. People like you stay where they're born. People like you don't become powerful, they survive. And you agreed to read your lines. Machiavelli would call that bad propaganda. Bad not because it's immoral, but because it blinds you to the real game. If they convince you your role is to struggle, you never compete for power. You line up for overtime. You line up for handouts. You line up for distractions. You never line up for dominance. Here's the dark psychology. Systems run smoother when most people believe they're powerless. It keeps them predictable. The moment you stop identifying as poor, you stop being predictable. You become inconvenient. You stop saying, "I can't do that, I'm broke." You start saying, "I won't do that. It doesn't move me closer to power." Those are very different sentences. One is victimhood, the other is strategy. You may still have no money, but now your criteria has changed. You're no longer asking, "Can I afford this?" You're asking, "Does this give me leverage, skills, or information?" That's the Machiavellian shift. The poor man avoids discomfort. The strategist hunts for it because he knows discomfort is usually guarding opportunity. Drop this below. I reject the script. Lesson 3. The system needs you to think you're poor. Why does every advertisement, every politician, every inspirational speech talk to you like you're desperate? Because desperation is easy to steer. When you believe you are poor, you accept terrible deals. You sell your time cheap. You cling to anything that offers a little relief. Machiavelli would tell you, a ruler doesn't need to control strong men. He needs to control tired ones. A tired man will trade his future for comfort. A man who thinks he's poor will trade his freedom for security. So they keep you mentally broke. Money is the root of all evil. Wanting more is greedy. Just be grateful it's not worse. They disguise submission as morality. They teach you to feel guilty for wanting leverage. Meanwhile, the true players study power, while everyone else studies entertainment. That's why I told you at the start, if you want real power, arm your mind. The core texts are in the description. The 48 laws of power, the prince, the discourses. And if you don't like reading, the Audible link lets you listen to them while everyone else wastes their commute. Most will ignore that. They prefer the comfort of the cage. Don't be one of them. Lesson 4. You are not broke. You are under-organized. Here is a truth that will offend you the first time you hear it. You are not as poor as your chaos makes you. Look around your room, your phone, your browser history, your friend group. You are surrounded by unorganized potential. You waste time like you're a billionaire in hours. You waste energy on arguments, gossip, and scrolling. Then say you have no resources. Machiavelli would point out something simple. A good prince doesn't start with a perfect kingdom. He starts with a broken one and rearranges it piece by piece. Your life is that broken state. Every minute you waste is a coin thrown off the castle walls. Every habit you don't confront is a hole in the treasury. You're not just fighting lack of money. You're fighting the way you spend, your focus, your attention, your self-respect. Poor minds think money is the only currency. Machiavellian minds know attention is worth more. People pay more to control what you focus on than they do to pay your salary. That's why distraction is free and real knowledge costs effort. Comment. My attention is my currency. Then start budgeting it. Lesson 5. Talking like you're poor makes you obey. Listen to how you describe yourself. I'm broke. I can't afford that. I'm just trying to get by. Those phrases sound harmless. They're not. Every time you say them, you're reinforcing a role, the obedient struggler. Machiavelli would advise a prince never to call his state weak in public, even when it is. Why? Because enemies are listening. In your case, your enemies aren't always people. They're habits, companies, addictions, and weaknesses that prey on your self-image. If you tell the world you're broke, it sends out a signal, I am desperate. I will accept almost anything. Things like predatory loans, toxic jobs, fake mentors, relationships where you pay with your soul instead of your wallet. Dark Psychology 101. People respond to how you label yourself faster than to your potential. That's why in this video, I am drilling a new phrase into your mind. Never think you're poor, even when you have nothing. You can be behind on every bill and still speak like someone who is rising, not drowning. You don't say, I'm broke. You say, I'm rebuilding. I'm consolidating. I'm regrouping for a bigger move. That doesn't magically clear your debts, but it does something more important. It refuses to let poverty become your identity. Once poverty is your identity, you'll sabotage every attempt to escape it, because success will feel like betrayal of who you think you are. So speak like someone passing through, not someone moving in. Comment this: I am not poor, I am repositioning. Lesson 6. Information is wealth. Ignorance is debt. A man who knows how people work is never truly broke. He can sell, persuade, negotiate, navigate conflict, create alliances, avoid traps. A man who doesn't will keep paying for his ignorance with time, humiliation, and wasted years. Machiavelli wrote for rulers, but he was really writing for anyone willing to treat life as a battlefield of minds. In our world, money changes form, governments shift, industries die. But psychology doesn't move that fast. Manipulation, fear, ambition, envy, loyalty, they still run the show. If you don't understand them, you are poor in the only currency that never collapses. That's why I keep returning to this. If you want real power, learn from people who dissected it. The 48 laws, the tactics of princes, the deep analysis of republics and crowds. They're all in the books I've listed in the description. And if you hate reading, the audiobooks are there too. Put them in your ears while you work, walk, or train. Don't just own them. Study them the way broke men study lottery tickets. Because once you see the patterns, they reveal every room you walk into becomes transparent. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? You start saying, of course that happened. That's exactly how power behaves. Ignorance is the most expensive poverty on earth, and information is the only wealth they can't repossess. Lesson 7. Your circle is your future net worth. Machiavelli gave a simple test. To understand the ruler, look at the men around him. Apply that to you. Look at your last 5 conversations, your last 5 messages, your last 5 nights out. Are you surrounded by people who talk about strategy or people who talk about escape? One group treats life like a chessboard. The other treats life like a casino. You can be broke and dangerous if you're surrounded by people who think like generals. You can be comfortable and doomed if you're surrounded by professional victims. Here's a rule most never admit. If your friends are emotionally poor, you will eventually become financially poor. Why? Because emotional poverty talks you out of risk, trains you to fear judgment, and keeps you focused on short-term comfort instead of long-term leverage. Start making quiet moves. Spend less time with anyone who mocks ambition. Spend more time with anyone who makes you feel underbuilt, not overqualified. Stop explaining your hunger to the comfortable. They aren't supposed to get it. This isn't cruelty, it's economic survival. Comment, my circle must match my ambition. Lesson 8. Detach your worth from your wallet. The world respects people who walk into luxury and act like they belong there, even when they don't. Why? Because deep inside, everyone is looking for cues. Who should we treat as important here? If you treat yourself as unimportant, they will happily agree. Detachment is Machiavellian armor. When you can walk through a store, a lobby, a negotiation, without announcing, through your body language, that you're intimidated, you project something priceless. I am not for sale. The man who needs the deal gets the worst terms. The man who can walk away dictates the structure. This is the dark edge. Poverty makes you cling. Detachment makes you expensive. Practice this. Walk a little slower. Answer a little later. Say no more often than you think you're allowed to. Don't rush to fill silence. Let others reveal themselves. You will feel arrogant at first. That's fine. You've been trained to feel guilty for not groveling, but over time, that detachment becomes your natural state, and suddenly, the world treats you like someone who weighs more, not because your bank account changed, because your self-respect did. Lesson 9. Use pain as capital. If you've ever been broke, humiliated, rejected, betrayed, good. You've been given something money can't buy. Intense data. Most people waste that data. They drown in it, tell sad stories about it, turn it into a personality. Machiavelli would tell you to do something uglier and smarter. Turn it into weapons. The job that underpaid you. Study how they justified it, how they phrased it, what they exploited. That's a free lesson in manipulation and corporate power. The relationship where you were used. Study which boundaries you never set, what flattery worked on you, how your loneliness lowered your standards. That's training in your own weak spots. Pain is tuition. You already paid. Not using it is the real tragedy. Never think you're poor if you've suffered intelligently. You are sitting on a vault of insights that can be turned into strategy, standards, and strength. Comment, my scars are my capital. Lesson 10. Never think you're poor. Let's come back to the core sentence. Never think you're poor, even when you have nothing. Because the moment you think poor, you negotiate like a beggar, plan like a victim, dream like a prisoner. Thinking poor makes you predictable, and predictable people are easy to corner. Thinking like power doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means using reality as material, not as a cage. Yes, your bills are real. Yes, your stress is real. Yes, the world is unfair. But so what? Machiavelli's world was worse. Plague, public executions, family vendettas, corrupt princes. And still he wrote for the man who says, I will learn this game so well. The world will never again tell me who I'm allowed to be. That must be you. So here is your fork in the road. You can close this video and go back to thinking, I'm poor. waiting for a miracle, scrolling for distractions, hoping the system that exploits you will someday reward you. Or you can treat this as your line in the sand. You start studying power like your life depends on it, because it does. You start organizing your time like a prince, reclaiming a ruined state. You upgrade your circle. You change how you speak about yourself. You detach your worth from your wallet. You turn every pain into usable intelligence. And you arm yourself with the texts most people will never open. If you want real power, start with the power texts linked in the description. The 48 Laws of Power. The Prince by Machiavelli.